All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. By the way, the CGI hotline is open. If you want to be a part of the show, give us a buzz. 257-5396. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Quick reminder tomorrow, the people from the show, Wow, the Vegas Spectacular. It's an incredible show on the Strip. They'll be coming in studio, giving away some tickets. Also, our boy Ken Thompson, Sports X Radio. Be talking a little college football. Coming up in hour number 3, Bernie Fratto, nationally syndicated host, will be joining us to preview UNLV football and some of the other big games around the country. Of course, this weekend, a big week in college football, opening week. And coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to talk a little Raiders with RJ's very own Miles Simmons, who is a Raiders reporter, the Raiders beat writer for the RJ. So we'll get to that coming up in hour number 3. By the way, I just wanted to mention this real quickly. Dana Loesch, the witch, as I like to call her. I'm not a big fan of her. She's the spokesperson for the NRA, and she really is a witch. She has blood on her hands, as far as I'm concerned. Never said anything negative about the NRA, which is, by the way, filed for bankruptcy. And she's attacking, CNN. And she puts this stupid quote on her Twitter page that says, "We now have to get back to serious reporting and guests like this actual white supremacist we gave a huge platform to, or our friend porn lawyer." So, of course, she's referring to Michael Avenatti. By the way, Dana Loesch has zero credibility going after anybody because, like I said, she's a witch. And all that matters is my opinion. Anyway, so Michael...
I think that's very fair.
It's very fair. Michael Avenatti responded. And Avenatti's response is, "You seem to have an issue with porn." Similar to the way he went after Tucker Carlson. He goes, "You seem to have an issue with porn. Will you now be advising your NRA members to stop watching porn? By the way, your creepy porn president, the one you bought paid for, is the guy that was having unprotected sex with a porn star while his 4-month-old was at home with his wife." I'll tell you, Michael Avenatti makes a lot of sense in that tweet. He's right. Like I said, Dana Loesch is the absolute worst. He's just an awful, awful human being. She's just the worst. But I like the fact that Avenatti's going after her. I'll tell you what, this is a really scary story coming out of Denver. And I think it's important that we share it with you because we hope it certainly never happens here in Las Vegas. Ex-Denver inmate, she's 26 years old. She's suing the city and law enforcement for forcing her to give birth alone in a jail cell with no medical supervision or treatment after ignoring her cries for help. This is really, really tough. Her name is Diana Sanchez, and I tell you what, I think she's going to win this suit if there's any validity to it. This is her in her own words.
I felt helpless. Nobody was helping me. There's so many people there, and nobody lifted a finger, basically.
And she goes on to say that really there was nobody there in the jail cell that really cared about her cries for help.
That pain was it's indescribable. What hurts me more, though, is the fact that nobody cared.
Well, that's really sad. Doesn't matter whether if you're in jail or not. If a woman is about to have a baby, she needs medical attention. This is Diana Sanchez's attorney, Maureen Newman.
Failure to provide care to a woman who is in labor and a baby who is born without any medical assistance in a dirty jail cell. This is not civilized.
Okay, so this is what's even crazy. An internal investigation determined none of the Denver County Sheriff deputies or staff at the jail did anything wrong throughout this ordeal. You have a woman that's crying in a jail cell. Clearly, she is having a baby, and you're telling me it is proper protocol to not do anything, to not get medical attention for this woman? I don't care if she's in jail or not, or if she's a convict. If a woman is having a child, she needs medical attention. This is a really, really troubling story. It's crazy. And how is it even possible that the people in Denver, the county sheriff deputies, are defending themselves and saying that they did absolutely nothing wrong? Can somebody in law enforcement please explain this to me?
Was she just not making any noises?
She was. She just said she was.
Was it a silent?
No, she just said she was crying and making noises.
Exactly.
She just said that in the audio.
So how is that possible then?
I don't know. But
was she in solitary confinement?
No, she was not in solitary confinement.
So she was surrounded by other inmates?
Yes. According to the story,
and
yes.
No one did a thing?
Nothing.
No inmate said anything, and no one came to help her?
Maybe we could get some help from somebody in law enforcement because I am puzzled. I am absolutely puzzled.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm puzzled.
If you're at work and you are going into labor, what happens?
Maybe it were the same security guards that were outside of her jail cell.
I wonder.
Wait, hold on. I'm wondering if the same jail cell, the same. Hold on. What? Let me say the joke. Why do you keep interrupting me every 3 seconds? God, I'm supposed to be more funnier than you on this show anyway. What are you doing? That's not cool. Anyway, yes, that's what I was going to say. Maybe it's the same security guards that were involved in the Epstein thing. But maybe somebody out there can help us on this because I don't understand the rules, the laws. If somebody in law enforcement wants to call in now, I ask you this question. Or maybe someone that's not in law enforcement. Maybe you were a convict and you were pregnant and maybe somebody didn't help you either. The number to call, 257-5396, GCI Guys Hotline, 702-257-5396. What happens? What is the proper protocol? If a woman is about to have a child and she is giving birth and she is in a jail cell, what is the proper protocol? Isn't it true if someone is screaming in pain, he or she, that you're supposed to get them the medical attention that they need? How can you defend this? How is it that the Denver County Sheriff deputies, they're claiming in an internal investigation, did nothing wrong? How is that possible? I'm going to tell you something. I think this woman's going to make a lot of money. A lot of money. The child's name is Jordan, took his first breath before a male nurse who had been watching Sanchez from outside the jail cell walked in and picked up her naked child. This is a very, very disturbing story. Make no mistake about it. And yes, I do bring up the Epstein stuff. I was kind of making a joke there. We're the same security guards that were outside her jail cell, the same ones involved with the Epstein thing. So I'm making a joke, but I'm also being partially serious here. Just like we hold people to accountability when it comes to, all types of, law enforcement, that sort of thing, we need to hold people accountable that are outside these jail cells as well. This isn't Shawshank Redemption, for Christ's sake. This is really bad. Let's take a phone call on this at 257-5396. Let's go to Mike. Mike, what's going on?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Hey, yeah, check it out, Mike. Brian, can I say this first?
Yeah.
The guy from Puerto Rico, he's the guy, he said he's born there. He called Puerto Rico a country. Now, if you're born in Puerto Rico, you should know it's a Caribbean island. It's unincorporated U.S. territory.
Mike, that is a very valid point, Mike.
Okay, I just want to get that.
Thank you for bringing that. Thank you for. We might have missed that, Mike. I'm so glad you brought that up. I do notice though, when JD asked him a specific question, "What is Trump doing for your people?" He all of a sudden developed a stutter complex. I do find that a little.
Yeah, because Trump did nothing.
Right, exactly.
All he did was throw paper towels. He threw paper towls to the people in the surroundings. So,
but Mike, he does have a great arm. He's got an amazing arm, and his arm's the best arm.
Yeah, he's got a big fat belly too.
Yeah, he definitely's got that, Mike. You're right about that, and he's got man boobs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, about with the female in prison.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Jeffrey Epstein kind of scenario.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, it got to be, because that was just like, hey, well, this letter had a baby. She might make it. Maybe she won't.
But here's, Mike, and you're right. Here's what's troubling to me. There was an internal investigation, and they determined that the Denver County Sheriff deputies and the staff did nothing wrong. How is that possible?
Because Attorney Bill Barr, Attorney General Bill Barr, he's like, hey man, look, you guys do what you want to these people in prison. We'll back you up.
I mean,
it's got to.
I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know if that's the case, but listen,
it seems a little off base to me.
Listen, I'm not a Bill Barr fan. I'm not a Bill Barr fan at all.
No, Bill Barr.
He's a scumbag.
He's a scumbag. Him and Trump, Epstein had something on Barr too.
Probably.
He had something on Barr, and he had something on Trump.
Do you think that maybe he's got like a picture of Barr in like a dress and high heels? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Dressed in drag. He looks like a big, kind of a chubby girl, He looks like a chubby girl.
I'll leave that one alone, but I do see a resemblance between Bill Barr and Rosie O'Donnell. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say that.
That's funny, man.
Yes. Well, I think we agree on this, Mike, but I do want to ask you one other question. Are you an African American? If you don't mind me asking.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when African Americans, some on the right, say that Donald Trump is the best president for African Americans, what do you say to them?
I think they're smoking crack, because there's no way possibly
not holding anything back.
There's no way. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this guy. I'm from New York, so I know his history. Okay?
I would have never guessed that.
I know all his shenanigans, and he doesn't care about anybody, let alone a black person.
He cares about himself.
Hey,
He
Mike.
cares about himself.
Mike, do you identify as African American or American first?
I'm an American, man. I'm born in Brooklyn, man. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm gonna tell you something. This is the deal. The first Africans that came to this country in 1619, their offsprings were also the first Americans. They're Americans.
Can I ask you something else?
African, yeah.
Since you're from New York, what do your fellow New Yorkers think of this man, Donald Trump?
I'm gonna tell you something, man. People in New York, whether it's Brooklyn, and you got some diehard, like I think DJ or JD is.
Yeah.
You got some diehard long people, on Long Island. You got pockets of these Trump sycophants. They're like, I don't know if he's got like some secret.
I know a few of them.
Cocaine or something.
Yeah.
Whatever they're sniffing, I don't know. But I would say
Well,
95%
it's crack, cocaine,
people,
meth,
something
heroin.
They got to be, because there's no way in the world Trump could not go to New York City and hold a rally. He goes out to Long Island.
Well, he could hold a Klan. Couldn't he hold a Klan rally? He could do that.
Yeah, but
Sorry, that was a cheap shot.
In all fairness, New York is so blue, he would
Klan,
never do
I'll
that.
tell you what, you'll probably never see somebody walking around in New York City with a Klan outfit. They get beat up. Just like you barely see anybody with a MAGA hat in New York City, because they'll get bumped.
You're right, Mike. I'm up against a hard break, my friend, but I really appreciate your perspective. You're a funny guy, too. I want you to call back. I like you,
thanks
Mike.
for the call,
Thank
Mike.
you. I love those New Yorkers, man. They tell it like it is. I really love them. Mike, thank you for the call. That was awesome. So when we come back, this is going to be fun. Talk a little Raiders football with Miles Simmons, who is the RJ reporter for the Raiders. Also want to ask him what he thinks of this Hard Knocks. I think it's the worst year of Hard Knocks yet. We'll get to that. We'll be back right after this, The Vegas Take.